Next, we're going to do the deal. And there's a lot of times that you're going to be sailing through transactions several times a day. And it's really quite simple. And I want to show you how to do a deal right now. Once you've memorized that there are 4 parts to a deal, you'll be sailing through transactions as a licensed New Jersey dealer every single day, hopefully multiple times every day. So you'll need to memorize there's 4 parts to a deal. First of all, we need to buy a vehicle to resell. We're going to sell the vehicle to the customer. We're going to use dealer software to compute the sales tax, order the title, and then print all the documents and place a temporary tag on the vehicle sold. Okay? Did you catch all that? First of all, we're going to buy a vehicle to resell. Then we're going to sell the vehicle to the customer. Step number 3, we're going to use a dealer management software program to compute the sales tax for New Jersey residents, which will also order the title and obtain any lending if needed and print your deal docs. And then finally, step number 4, you're going to place temporary tag on the vehicle sold. So once you memorize the 4 parts of this deal, you're going to be sailing through several deals every single day. So first of all, you can't make any money until you go buy a vehicle to resell. And I want to show you how to do that right now. Okay. First of all, here you see a New Jersey title. And I want to talk about this because as a licensed motor vehicle dealer, you are really one of the only parties that is able to buy a vehicle and turn around and resell it without paying sales tax. Licensed New Jersey dealers can buy a vehicle and then turn around and resell it without paying sales tax. You are the only party that can do this. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of folks out there that want to buy and sell vehicles, but they don't want to go through the legal steps that you're going through to get a legal New Jersey license. And what they'll do, they'll go buy a vehicle from someone, they'll ask them to sign the back of it and leave the purchaser's information blank, and then they try and resell the vehicle, and their name is not even on the title. And that transaction is illegal in all states. That person is acting as a licensed dealer without a dealer's license, okay? So when you're buying a vehicle from an individual, or maybe you're taking a trade-in, how do you avoid those titles? It's actually a very simple process. Before you buy a vehicle from a customer, or maybe even take a trade-in, it's very important to ask the question, is the title in your name? It's a very simple question. When you're buying a vehicle from an individual, ask if the title's in their name. If they say, yes, the title's in my name, that's excellent, that's what you're looking for, go make the buy. More often than not, though, when you're buying a vehicle from a customer, maybe you found a vehicle on Marketplace or Craigslist and you contact that customer and you want to buy the vehicle or take a look at it and you ask, is the title in your name? They might say something like, well, no, the title's not in my name. I bought it from my neighbor a couple weeks ago. He signed the back of it and you can just come on over here and buy it from me. I do that all the time. That's that illegal transaction. Or you might ask the customer if the title's in their name and they might say something like, well, no, I bought it from my brother-in-law. He's in the Army overseas. He signed the back of it. You can just come on over here and buy it from me. That's that illegal transaction. So you always want to ask the customer if the title's in their name. You only can buy a vehicle from the person whose name appears on the title. If their name's not on that title, I strongly encourage you to walk away from that vehicle. So please keep that in mind. So what we're going to do, we're going to go buy the vehicle and we're going to do what is called a reassignment, okay? A reassignment allows you to take that vehicle with the title and then resell it on the same title. So only licensed motor vehicle dealers are allowed to do this. And I want to show you a sample title right here to kind of give you an idea. We're going to go buy that vehicle. The first thing you want to do on the back of a title is designate the odometer disclosure statement. See those 3 little check boxes right there? The state of New Jersey assumes normally when you're buying a vehicle to resell that the mileage is actual and is correct. So if the mileage is actual to your knowledge, then you're going to check box number 1 that says it is the actual mileage. Now, every once in a while, you might buy a vehicle and let's say, for example, the digital dash has went out, or maybe you bought a vehicle that has a 5-digit mechanical odometer and you suspect the odometer has rolled over, and even though it says 43,000 miles, it might be 143,000 or 343,000 miles, but it only has 5 digits. If you can't verify the odometer, then you want to check box number 2 that says exceeds mechanical limits. So keep that in mind. Now, there can be a scenario where you're buying a vehicle and you are positive the odometer is incorrect. Like you could have, let's say, for example, you're buying a 1975 Monte Carlo, if you remember those, and maybe the guy selling you the vehicle will tell you, hey, the old odometer in that Monte Carlo quit working a couple years ago. It used to read 70,000 miles, and I put a new one in there that reads 20,000 miles. That's what we call a discrepancy. That's an incorrect odometer. So you have to disclose that information to all future buyers by checking box number 3 that says warning odometer discrepancy. You have to give that disclosure to the customer. Now, over to the right there, you can designate if that only has 5 or 6 digits on that odometer. So we're going to buy the vehicle. So the person selling the vehicle will enter all their sales information because they're selling the vehicle, and we're buying the vehicle, so we'll enter ourselves as the buyer. Now, the great thing about having a New Jersey dealer license is when you buy a vehicle, you can sell the vehicle on the same title by doing what we call a reassignment. So we bought this vehicle, we're going to bring it back to our office, we're going to mark it up as high as we can, and now we're going to resell it on the same title by scrolling down to the bottom of the title, and now we're going to resell the vehicle. So in this scenario, now we're selling the vehicle, so you're going to enter your seller's information there, and then when you're selling to the customer, they're going to be the buyer, and you'll put the buyer information there. So this is literally, in a nutshell, how you're going to make money with your New Jersey dealer's license. And I've often been asked in the classes that I've given around the country for many, many years, how much should we mark this vehicle up to? Should we mark it up to Blue Book value? Should we mark it up to NADA value? I recommend that you mark your vehicles up well above Blue Book, well above NADA. You're going to find that a lot of times a customer will come in and they'll purchase your vehicle at your full asking price because they don't like negotiating, and they'll write you a check on the spot. And some customers might even try to negotiate you down $200 or $300 or $400 or whatever. And you know, the way I look at it, really the only limit on the markup is what that customer is willing to pay you for that vehicle. So technically there is no limit on the markup. And that's why I feel this is the very greatest business on the planet, okay, because there is no limit on the markup. And I feel like, you are taking a risk, a financial risk to start this business. And I'm a big believer that you should reap the rewards when your business is successful with your New Jersey dealer license. So now we're going to cover that process of selling the vehicle to the customer. I do want to give you that reminder that any type of good dealer software program will run all the paperwork for you. So like, Discount Dealer Center here, you see it integrates with the temp tag system. It gets loans. You can become a buy here, pay here dealer. It's got a New Jersey dealer document library, completes all the transactions for you. So a software program like Dealer Center will also get the loan approved, so you can basically get any type of customer with any type of credit a loan on the spot, and then it will connect with an automatic title ordering software like CVR or Dealer Track, or these are approved by the state of New Jersey to order your customers' titles for you. So Discount Dealer Center will automatically connect with those programs and do the complete deal for you. It could not be any simpler when you're using a good dealer management system program. It's all automated with a couple clicks of the mouse. So this program will also connect with what's known as your automated dealer online services program, which I want to talk about right now. Your online dealer services program is going to save you time and money with a live electronic connection to the Motor Vehicle Commission that helps you submit transactions in less than 4 minutes. And this may sound complicated. If you're not using a good dealer management system software program, it can be complicated running your new business, but a good dealer management software program will basically assemble all the parts of the dealer process for you automatically with a couple clicks of the mouse. So let's say we've agreed on that price with the customer. It is going to be your job to order the customer's new title when you sell a vehicle. And so you can just boot up your discountdealercenter.com, click on the new ETR because you're doing an electronic title registration, as you see right here. And this is going to be all completely automated. So when we sat down with a customer and sold the vehicle, agreed on a price, we're going to boot up that software program and click new electronic title registration. It's going to load your dealership name. You'll need to select how the customer is paid. Maybe they paid you cash, maybe you've gotten them a loan, or maybe you're leasing the vehicle. And then you're going to scroll down and enter the exact amount that you're selling the vehicle for, okay? Make sure you enter the exact sales price, and it's going to figure out sales tax and everything automatically. Now you're going to enter the vehicle identification number of the vehicle you sold, and this software program will actually load that vehicle that you sold automatically. So you can type in that VIN. Make sure and double check and triple check your VIN because one letter or number incorrect is going to bring up the wrong vehicle. So according to this VIN, you sold your customer 2011 Toyota RAV4. Well, if you sold your customer 2011 Toyota RAV4 and this screen says Harley Davidson on it, then you've actually inputted the VIN incorrectly. So make sure you're always inputting every single number and letter of the vehicle identification number correctly. You're also going to want to enter the exact odometer reading. No matter what it reads, go ahead and enter the exact odometer reading as you see right here. Now you need to make sure that you are completing this information correctly as well, because this is the name that's going to be printed on the title that you're ordering for the customer to that vehicle that you've just sold them, okay? So make sure and spell their name correctly. A common mistake that I've seen is a dealer maybe misspells a customer's name, and then all of a sudden the customer gets title paperwork with their name misspelled and they're mad at the dealer. I always recommend handing the customer a piece of paper and have them spell their name, or maybe take a look at their ID to make sure you're spelling their name correctly. And by default, all of their paperwork will be mailed automatically to their home. But over to the right there, you can see there's a mail forwarding address. So maybe your customer wants to have their title paperwork mailed to a P.O. box or something like that. Well, then they can have that done as well. Then you'll select what's called the lien holder. A lien holder is the company that has the lien or the loan. So later on in your New Jersey dealer training course, we're going to cover financing extensively. So if there's a lien, you can select the lien. But if there's no loan or lien, then you scroll on to the next tab there and basically look at a review of all the information that you see on your screen. So double check this, triple check this, make sure everything is correct, and you just correspond to the correct information. And then you're going to click Pin DTR deal, and then click your forms to print them. It's very simple. So you're going to print your deal docs automatically just by clicking on Print Selected Packs there. And this software program will print up all of your required New Jersey documents for you, including your mandatory bill of sale that you see right here. It's going to print up your mandatory title application for your customer as well. And then it prints up the resale form ST-3. Okay. Now this form shows that you're a licensed New Jersey motor vehicle dealer, and that's why you didn't pay sales tax initially when you purchased this vehicle. So it's all automated when you use discountdealercenter.com or another similar software program. So you don't have to have that big checklist on your desk anymore of all the forms that you need every single time that you actually fill out that document. So please keep that in mind. And that's your ST form. And then you're going to also be able to print up your temporary plate to place on the vehicle you've just sold. So remember, just a moment ago, we clicked on the new ETR deal to start that deal. Now you go down and you click on the print temp tag deal, as you see right there, and your dealer software will bring up the dealer transaction you just completed. Make sure this screen shows the vehicle that you sold and it's not another vehicle, so that temp tag is correctly registered to that specific vehicle. And then finally, you're going to print the temporary tag, and here you see a temporary tag copy. So what you're going to want to do is be sure to remove the bottom section right there for your records, and you're going to take that top official temp tag, or what we call a temporary plate, and place it on the vehicle that you have just sold. So please remember, you must place the temporary tag, the temporary plate, on the rear license plate of the vehicle that you have sold. You don't want to put it in the window. It has to be placed on the rear license plate frame of the vehicle that you've just sold. Now, here are the programs that connect with Online Dealer Services program. Remember, Dealer Center will do everything, including getting loans for your customers, connect you with your electronic title registration software provider like CVR or DealerTrack, and does everything automatically for you. So I hope this is helpful for you. Remember, discountdealercenter.com is where you can find that software program, and I really hope that you are finding this information advantageous. Dealer Center will integrate with those programs, gets loans, helps you become a buy here, pay here dealer, also has a New Jersey document library as well. So I hope that you are finding this information very, very helpful as you get ready to start your New Jersey dealership.